That part. Bayview Hunters Point. What's up, Playboy? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
What's your name, fam?
Jameel Patterson.
Okay. And what are you?
Community organizer.
Community organizer. Okay. And you work for the nonprofit?
New Community Leadership Foundation.
New Community Leadership Foundation. That's the NCLF. We here in the Bayview.
We about to do some forays.
Right, we're right here in the Bayview Plaza. You know, a landmark in the Bayview, San Francisco Bayview area. Been here for years. Many stores came and went. We got a new Lucky's coming to Bayview. We never had a Lucky's in Bayview, but we're about to have one. So, you know, y'all stay tuned and come down and get your 3 for $15 steaks and little fish and all of that stuff. The little deals you get from Lucky's and stuff. But yeah, it's the good old Goodwill. It's been there for years.
Hi, my name is Bon Capioye. I work with Collages as an Entitlement and Community Engagement Associate. I'm here today because we have a few projects here in the Bayview, and I'm very eager and interested in getting to know more about the Bayview community to ensure that we are being good neighbors and that we are supporting the community that we operate out of.
Nice.
Yes, and I'm Jameel Patterson of the New Community Leadership Foundation. We are a civic engagement organization. We teach civic education, and we promote civic responsibilities.
Nice.
Okay, so let's go. Coming, and it was going to compete with the Chinese restaurant that's been there for years. It's kind of a staple in the community.
Yeah. Hey. Hello.
So, right here is where you have a number of programs that are supposed to service the black community. And let's go to right here. So this is an interesting highway, and it's kind of like a cutoff point as far as the urban planning. This street right here, Evans. You have about 4 major corporations that's down about Mission Bay.
Okay.
You have the Giants, Chase, Uber, and of course the Warriors just came back. All right, so Muni, or SMTA, they control the bus systems. They tell a certain amount of their T-trains, and actually we can walk out over there. Preparation for the Giant Stadium. All the plans and designs that were going to come, right? And so, you know, you hear people talk about 15-year plans, 20-year plans. Well, this was like a 20-year plan, right? And so they built the train basically here to ship tourists, or the way they built up the area, it's like a tour. When you go on the T train, it's like a tour.
Okay.
Right? So Evans Street is like a middle point, because the trains and the bus systems, they tell a certain amount of their trains not to pass through Evans, because this is where right in this area. So those trains go back to that way, or they send them back. And so this right here is going to be the navigation center. And I'm not sure how many black organizations will be there, but
Yeah. That's going to be the new Southeast campus, right?
So I think, and actually, you can go right here and see exactly what it's going to be, because it says it right there. Right? But all of the organizations in there won't be black, so that's definitely a fact. And then it's an interesting highway, right? But this street is very intriguing, right? Because you got Southeast, which was down there, which was the college. Then you also got the post office down there. And then you got APRI, which is another civic engagement organization. That's down there too as well. And then that also leads into the back, where there's a lot of development area. There's also the projects back there, and then the community does a number of events. Right here, this is the Indian Basin area. And so this area has been talked about for development for a long time. Right, look at this. This stay right here for right now.
I know APRI, they supported with development and I think there's an event coming up in a couple of weeks that I'm going to try and go to. I know I connected with Jackie Queen at the store, I think.
Jackie Brown?
I think I kind of know from the kid.
Her maiden name is Brown.
Oh, okay.
To my knowledge, Eloise Westbrook and the Big Five, those are the 5 black women that helped maybe Hunter's Point get developed for the black community. So they build projects like they got development projects built. They got certain housing built like Arlington, Osceola, Bertha Lane, and these developments or these housing sites are named after these women.
Okay.
So in the 60s and 70s, they basically did an assessment of their community, because a lot of area back there was unfilled, and they went to the city and they said, "We want you to build up this area." And so the city ignored them, so they went to the federal government. And that was how they got Arlington and Osceola built. And they basically created their own urban renewal plan, which was led by the community. So they had plans also of doing things in the Indian Basin. Now the reason why I kept this right here, there's a whole lot to study right here, right, as far as urban planning, foot traffic. So this is a highway, and as we discussed, you got the post office, you got Southeast College, you got APRI. You also have right here, you got 2 gas stations, which also, and it's right at this point, right, which also attracts traffic as well, right? So that's very important. You got 2 gas stations, you got 1 bus stop, and another train stop, right? So these are all mechanisms to attract people. You got a plaza. These are all mechanisms to attract people to the area. Now we go.
It's kind of random, but do you happen to know Yolanda? I know she's no longer with us anymore, but Yolanda is the founder of White Cat City.
I don't think I would probably have to see her.
Okay. Or do you happen to know White Cat City, that organization?
I don't.
Okay.
Why I can't see?
White Cat, YCAT-C.
Oh, White Cat C. Oh, okay.
So, like I said, this right here is going to be a navigation center. Navigation center, community center.
Yeah.
It's basically the same function. This is going
Yeah,
to be
for
right
like
here.
school, for like kids
For
to.
a community program, whether it's youth, adults, navigation centers are really built to help people navigate around the city. And for civic engagement, they're also hubs, people to congregate. And so that's why they call them navigation.
It says it was completed in 2021. I wonder when it's going to open. And it says it was the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission that is building this.
And the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission is the SFPUC, and they're basically over, your water. I'm not sure if they cover gas and electricity, but they definitely cover the water. Definitely the water.
A project of the 10-year capital plan.
Also, this area, the sewage from all of the Bay Area runs through this area, so that's why there's a smell. And then there's also a sewage plant around the corner. So now we can go this way. And then also, you observe, you got Shamrock business right there. You got few developments across the street.
Yeah. Did you tell her it was 42 black-owned businesses on 3rd Street?
50.
50?
Hello?
Wow. Okay, it went up.
Wrong number.
It was 42, it's 50 now. It's 52, it's 50 black-owned businesses on 3rd Street. And we're gonna go, and possibly, if the Lord says the same, we're gonna interview each and every one of them.
It's a black-owned, woman-owned business that offers construction, administrative, and traffic support. I think their office, if Google is correct, their office is on 280 Newhall Street. Just about a half mile away.
Wow.
I've been in contact with them for a few months now. I think I'm going to drive by.
Nice.
Stop by afterwards.
It's 51 black businesses. Trying to acquire this property right here and have it for programming. As you can see, there's not much programming in this area, but with the plaza, with the train, with Evans kind of being the entry point with the 2 gas stations, I think we can definitely have some programming right here, right? And so, Sam Jordan's used to be black owned. It's a black woman that owns Sam Jordan's right now that owns the building. And the problem with Sam Jordan's and the plaza is that when Sam Jordan's would be open, the plaza would be everything in the plaza's closed. When Sam Jordan's is closed, everything in the plaza is open. So the businesses don't reinforce each other. So those are some of the problems with the entry point. But if everything can kind of be activated around the same time, right when you're coming into 3rd Street, maybe Hunter's Point, you can have, it'll be a good entry point to the community. Especially with the colleges and the community center coming, this area is ready for activation. Oh, and then also, in close proximity, you got Wells Fargo, you got 2 banks. You got Union Bank, Wells Fargo, Starbucks. That used to be a club, might be a club again. All in close proximity.
Right.
Sam Jordan's used to be a club, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
So for those that don't know, Sam Jordan was a club, and it was started by a black man who was a boxer named Sam Jordan. And so at nighttime, he was a speakeasy for the black community. He sold barbecue. They even opened up the outside part for people to come in there. But as I said before, when the plaza is open, Sam Jordan's is closed. When Sam Jordan's is open, the plaza is closed. So the foot traffic doesn't reinforce each other. And with urban planning, businesses benefit off each other's foot traffic. And so we already got the highways, which is on Evans Street. And it's all kind of highways where cars pass through. If they can see the foot traffic, then they can become clientele.
It attracts them.
It attracts them to come as well.
Yeah.
way on 3rd is south and east, but going this way on 3rd is Bayview.
Yeah, so so this is the southeast sector. All of this is the southeast sector.
Yeah.
But Southeast College, which is a community college,
is back there,
is
close
back
to
that
the
way.
community center.
And San Francisco Community College, it's not like a regular community college. It's the biggest in the country. Has 11 different sites, and collectively all together, it's the size, including its sites, it's the size of a real university all together. And then they have one big site, which is on Phelan and Ocean. And so one of the reasons why we got the college is because, well, one is for the pollution, and that's kind of how things happen in the black community, because, there has to be a problem in order for us to get something that can make us progressive. So one was the pollution, and then another reason was a black person, a young black man was killed by the police in the 60s, was shot in the back. So in order to quell people's tensions, they gave us a community college. So there's 2 sites in Bayview, or there was for the longest.
Right. So yeah, this will be the southeast. This is southeast this way. That way is going north. Sandwiches to go, cold beer, wine.
So this area right here, so this space right here, before it was an area where people would go and try to have a business. It really hasn't had too much maintenance. Tiffany from Boost Cadillac used to be right there. That's why they decorated that. But it's open space, and it could be developed, could be a useful community, and add to the aesthetic and to the program. Now, at one point in time, you see where those poles are, there was a billboard right there. And it could be good use because this is kind of like the beginning point. So it can be good use to advertise things in our community.
Right.
Now, you're on the T-train platform, and the T-train was built for tourism. As you can see, right? So, I think they're closed, but you see they got gardening going on. And this is one of the businesses that's preparing for the development that's coming up. It's going to come up past River Division. Because when you have 4 corporations that move close by your community, that's a sign of development that's coming. So 4 corporations that move in close proximity to your community, that's always a sign of development coming. So it could mean something good for a community if the community is tuned on to it, or it can mean the removal of that existing community. It always happens like that too. So as you can see right here, they're trying to keep the black spirit alive. There's an African American culture created 4 years ago. They have an African. I think April is the one that runs it. She's a business owner in the community, and we'll go about her spot soon. But there's a lot of beautification and murals that's painted to kind of keep the black spirit alive. And you see that right there, right? And so you're gonna see that all throughout the community. And those are things that kind of decorate the community and kind of change the image. For a long time, Bayview has been known as like the ganglands and killing zone. So there's an effort to try to change the identity. Now others are moving in to kind of put their spin on it. And then you see right here examples of the black community trying to keep our identity together. So right here, it's not black owned, but they've been in the community for years and it's black friendly. So even though they're not black owned, I think the Italians on it, they are a part of us still. Yeah. And they have some of the best sandwiches and for a good price in the city.
Yep.
Now you also wanted to see the development area, right? Okay, so we can Uber over there when the time is right. Just let me know, for like the last 30 minutes or something. Okay. We can cover that, and that's like on the other side. still has a lot of black homeowners and property owners. So it's still a lot of black people that stay up in these areas and that own their houses. Back in the southern migration, or the migration from the south, a lot of black people came here and bought houses, like grandparents and stuff. So these houses have been in the family for years. Yeah. This right here used to have a black business. He wanted one out of the store. It was a nail salon.
A nail salon, yeah.
And then also, what's also been here for years is you have these warehouse businesses that are always in like the alleyways of Bayview. They're littered throughout the whole area. Always feels like that thing gonna hit me. Like when I stand right here, and then they be nervous too. They be like, but look, you're not gonna hit me.
Right.
It's separated, but it feels like a optical illusion, or like how you go in one of those virtual reality spaces. It's like that. I feel like that was gonna hit you. He's going fast too. So, in my original assessment of third, I counted about 45 black businesses. Later on, I found out there were about 5 more. And so I kind of estimated that black people probably had the most businesses here. I don't think we've seen one just yet. Did we see one yet? No. We saw businesses that used to be black. Right. But with these businesses in the alleyways and things, we might not have the most, because there are a lot of them in the alleyways.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
didn't
them.
take into account at all. And then also you see like development space, like this was developed too, right here.
I don't want to see development space. I want to see Candlestick. I remember there was a young gentleman.
It's a development area.
Okay.
A Candlestick is a development area.
Okay. I don't know if I have Uber money today, but get it. Are you sure?
Like corridors. There's certain areas, like all the corridors, they kind of break up. They're not all connected. So you have different patches that can do different things, right? So right here, this is another aspect. So I'm kind of all over the place, but so back there, we saw the programming for that corridor. Everything that's there, and we can kind of see the missing pieces of what stops its activation. Here you have another corridor point. And so this is St. John's Church. That's a black church. It's been that way for years. My grandmother, Marlene Ransburg, went there. And it's still black. And I guess that's a business to a point, non-profit business. Now here, this was a Kentucky KFC, and they're gonna turn this into housing. It's Hertz, black business. So in Bayview,
Big H.
we have a number of storefronts, we have a number of vendors. So there's more black people getting into the entrepreneurial spirit, and you can kind of see that. That's All Goods Pizza, which is, it's not a commercial space, but it's outdoor space. Right here.
And it's not black owned, right?
It's not black owned.
Right.
But she's black friendly.
Right.
But she's also new to the community. So she's not like the sandwich shop that's been here for years. She kind of been here maybe about 10 years.
Wow.
But the sandwich shop been here for about, since before I was born.
Right.
So this right here is College Track.
College Track, yeah.
Some of it was funded by Steve Jobs' wife. And it's self-explanatory. They help you get on track. This is owned by, or ran by a black woman named Diane Gray. So now we're coming into our first 2 black buildings and programming spaces and institutions. And here's where it starts to get more and more black. Right there is also the beautification, and that's done by the cultural district to kind of keep the black identity. You also have those those yellow, red, black, and green flags that's on the poles, turn around. And that was also put here to kind of keep the black identity that this still is a black community, even in the age of gentrification. Okay, so here you got another kind of a corridor zone. It kind of bleeds into this one. That's the Chinese nail shop, or Asian. It's not black. But right next to All Good Pizza, and the foot traffic right here, you can see how it can support each other. You got Shears Barbershop, right? Which is a barbershop, right? Right there, right next to each other. Their foot traffic can support each other. This place has been here for years. You see youth, children, family, people there now. So it's a hub, and they stay with foot traffic. What's up, young brother? Pretty good. And then that's closed right now, but usually that has foot traffic. And this building right here is black owned. So Baby still has a number of black property owners. This space right here is vacant, and they're looking for renters. But this space right here is Golden State Grand's clothing store. Black-owned business. These brothers grew up on 3rd Street, and then now he got a space on 3rd. I got a cameraman with me.
How you doing, bro? Hello.
Yeah, so you're a Baby Hunters Point native?
Sure.
How long you been here?
Ever.
So how does it feel to have a commercial space on the street that you grew up in, grew up around? And
every day I'm living my dream. I can't.
Wow.
Playing. I've been working for people for years.
Yes, sir.
It's the best feeling, for real. Long hours, make long hours.
Yeah.
What do you think your example means to the community?
Hopefully a lot. Hopefully it's inspiration for everybody to do something, try to bring the community back, try to own some stuff.
Right.
And it's not hard at all.
How long have you had this property?
6 months.
6 months.
Nice.
6 months.
So what made you want to go into business for yourself?
I always wanted to go into business for myself. I always looked for a spot on 3rd. It just, the opportunity wasn't there. And now I had the opportunity, I went for it. You know what I mean?
Nice.
What's your name? Tell everybody your name and your business.
Marcus Stern, Golden State Grounds is a business, clothing store.
Nice. Did you? I'm up to ask you. Did you create those designs?
Nah, it's a collaborative and a bunch of us that the cream team.
Yeah, that's wet.
This is my code. That's my code. That's a part of my code.
Nice.
And the property that you went out to was black owned too, right?
Black on. Yeah, it's a bad name shots, you don't get that a lot, you know?
Right.
So it's important that we have black property owners in the area.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Stop selling. You know what I mean? Stop selling out if you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can hold on, man.
Right. How much are those jackets? Though
Those jackets are retail $250.
Okay, nice.
I sell them for $225.
Okay, you got some for some bigger cats.
Yeah, they go up to 4X, I think.
I like that. That's dope. I like that.
I
like all of these.
She's with Prologis Corporation.
Okay. Yeah, we do custom T-shirts too. Everything on that table I made, I can pull that stuff down.
Nice. Oh, I like that. That's it.
Getting one made right now. We're doing her some custom shirts right now.
She getting something made.
Nice. That's dope. Wow.
We also do consignments, any black-owned businesses, clothing lines that want to come down here and put their clothes in here, can't get in the stores. You're welcome to come down in here.
Okay.
I'll do a contract with you for 3 months, which will close down here, and we'll go from there.
That's
Grab
dope.
his card too, Cleve.
I got it.
You got it here
I got it.
for a future sit down with him too. Though.
Yeah, because I have a YouTube channel. I'm Gottabeclean Television. I'm from the Bayview myself. Grew up here. I'm over there on Shafter. And yeah, I want to interview all the black business owners in the neighborhood. I'm also a black business owner. I got a production company and everything.
Okay.
So yeah, I want to sit down with you and get you on the show to promote it even more and let people know.
Definitely.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
All right, have a good one, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
So right here, you can kind of see aspects and elements of a corridor, especially if this can get programmed into something. We ran into our first 2 black businesses. Actually, it's kind of 3 because this whole establishment is owned by somebody black, and she's operating it like a business too. So you got the clothing store here, you got Shears right there, you got Big Herb right there, or Big H.
Big H, yeah.
Over there. So it all kind of, it's a corridor. It all kind of supports each other, along with college track and the church.
Right.
So again, this has been here for years, but then the beautification is part of the black identity that the community is trying to keep and hold on to. And so that's an example right there. The power plant is right there. Another thing too is that Bayview has one of the highest rates of asthma and breast cancer. Some of that's from the shipyard, some of that's from the plant. Okay, so
What's up, my G?
how
How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
All right, all right. How you doing, brother?
Good to see you. Just checking in. See my boy in
So,
there.
I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. Either a portion of it or the whole block is also owned by a black man. I think it's owned by Bayview Property Managers, which is owned by a man by the name of Mr. Blandy. Right? So this is where it starts to get black at. This is the Hebrew Cultural Center of the church. It's been here for years.
New
Across
tattoo
the
shop.
street, that's one of the only black housing corporation developments, I think, in at least in the whole city, and that's called San Francisco Housing Development Corporation. And so they developed that site. They own that block right there. That's black owned too. It's ran by a board. The executive director happens to be white, but it's ran by his board. This board is black.
What about this tattoo shop?
It's got black owned. But
Right.
it still helps add to the corridor, the piece of shop, the store.
Right. Oh.
What's up, Jameel?
Hey, bro, good to see you. All right.
So right here, you have a mentor, dance instructor. This place is a dance facility where they teach young black girls how to dance. It's ran by Coach Lena, and she's just a wonderful community leader.
Oh, dope.
Another black business. This right here is Sony's. It's closed right now. So one of the things we're going to work on doing is we're setting up a town hall. It's going to be at the Opera House, and we're going to come across that soon. But so we're going to have a black business corridor town hall meeting. Try to get the corridor on par with each other, so that the businesses, as many as we can work on them being open around the same time. Because if you go to Chinatown, you go to the Mission, you go to San Bruno, which is a few streets over, the businesses open and close around the same time so that the foot traffic can support each other. Here, we kind of don't have that, so you see some open, some not. So that's why we're going to have this town hall meeting to take advantage of the black business growth spurt that we had. So we got two black businesses by each other. This is Sonia's Nail Salon. It's not open yet. It's closed. It's open, but it's closed right now. We also got another black business by the name of Corner, and it's another black clothing store. And so you see where you can have these corridors. You got SMHDC, you got a housing complex across the street, and you got a housing corporation right there. You got 4 black establishments in this same street. And on that street over, you got Shears, you got GS Clothing. That property is owned by black people. This property is owned by black people. So you see where it starts to get black at? I got cameraman here.
Well, that's what happened. The homeless guy.
But he's definitely a role model in the community and a trailblazer.
Yes, sir.
And this is the Corner. It's been here for years.
25 years. Yeah, been a long time.
25 years. Okay.
Tell him your name.
Tony Vaughn.
Tony Vaughn.
Tony
Vaughn,
Vaughn.
yeah.
Okay. The Corner.
Get his card information.
I'm out of call out and get some more.
Okay. I got your number though.
You got it. You got it.
Check your emails for those grants.
All right.
Okay.
Will do.
All right. Have a good one.
And so also too, right? Another, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the corridor, so it's not all the way there yet, but other elements to it too is it could be a black business corridor. It also could be kind of a hybrid corridor too, because it's one of the few places in the city that has Asian, African American, and Latino businesses. It's probably got the most hybrid of businesses out of the whole city in Black Market. So here's where we got a cannabis club, black-owned business, owned by another black trailblazer named Rodney Hampton. I'm not going to bring cameras in there like that. But you can get his card though. But we haven't come back to that. Right. So this property right here, this wind up having a fire and burnt it down. But this property is owned by a black man. And people like Tina Turner, they came here before. It used to be a place for famous acts. So he's looking to get investment for this property so that he can build it up and it can be used for application. This is kind of an important area right here. Same guy that owns this, man by the name of Clarence Williams, he owns that complex right here too. Great one right next to it. And then Prophet's ran by a man by the name of Calvin Jones, rest in peace. He got into development, and that's how he was able to build this. This right here is the commissary kitchen. With the catering and things like that. So this right here is Auntie April's kitchen, soul food restaurant. And she was staple of the community. She actually went, hey, how you doing, brother? Where the glasses at? This is Brother Malik. He works at April Soul Food Restaurant.
Nice, sir. All right. How you doing?
Where you moving to?
Everybody.
Oh, so this gonna shut down?
I mean, they're still use it for catering orders and stuff like that.
Oh, like
It's not gonna be open to the public.
commissary kitchen.
Yeah, the pop-up as well.
To the pop-up.
Stuff like that. Yeah, everybody's moving down the cafe.
Oh yeah, so pop-ups are becoming popular to where people use, different vendors and people that are into cooking and vending, they can use the space as well. So maybe that's what he's talking about too. Pop-up. So they call it the pop-up. So people who don't have a commercial space, and then so this could serve as a bread basket. And as we know, Auntie April is over the African American Culture District, so she's serving her community and using this as a bread basket. So you see this this right here, I want to try to explain it best I can. So, brilliant woman that owns this is Jackie Norman, and this place has a number of functions. It's Outreach Foundation. How you doing? Pretty good. I'm just doing a tour of the black businesses in the area.
Yes.
So I'm just stopping by here. I got my cameraman right there.
Okay. Do you want to come inside? Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
So it picks up fast.
Yeah.
Right? As far as when you start see that there's a lot of black businesses and there's been a sort of a black business growth spurt. So one of the things that we're pushing for investment past Evans into the community that's trying to show promise. People are actually putting their time and their effort into creating businesses and the program in the corridor. So the other part to it is social work, and that's where people like me and other organizations come in at, because the violence is what kind of hurts it, and the people haven't really realized what they have on their corridor. They don't really realize we can actually have a business corridor to attract people. So you already got the 2 gas stations. In urban planning, gas stations, bar stops, bus stops, that all supports foot traffic. That's why they're key for the community. Those key little things, when they get built up in the community, is so important that people don't realize the purpose of them. So whenever, even going back to the cowboys and Indian days, whenever they build trains, it's always for economy. And trains usually signal gentrification. That's why they gentrified the Native Americans off their land, because they was building trains. And the reason why they build trains is to transport cargo material. Okay, so explain to my man Clean Time, Mr. Clean, about what you do.
How you doing?
Well, first I gotta give you the full dynamic of the whole thing. Give me 1 second. Because when you normally walk into the space, this is what you see. I just got here, so you normally get this when you first walk in. Because I want it to be different than the outside. I want you to come in here for whatever your business is and feel different than you did before.
Nice.
Even if it's only for a few moments, it's a few moments of peace that you may not have had. We have a lot of people who have chaotic house homes and things like that. So we want to make sure that we have an environment that's inviting for them to come. We do notary, which we don't have any other notary here, so that's me. We are a nonprofit as well. We feed the homeless. We help black businesses with their paperwork. They're not ready for the banking. A lot of the older businesses, they're not ready to do the transition yet. So we help them get that done. Right. We help the older people. We have about 20 clients in the Bayview who have kids, but for whatever reason, they need somebody to make sure they get their bills paid. So we go to their house, open their mail, sort it out, tell them what's due, just to keep them on top of their stuff so they don't lose their house or, get into trouble. And because I'm a notary, I'm bonded, so that works out just fine. We have a teen program. We meet twice a month, and not every kid from the Bayview is going to go to college. So we got to give them some other skills. So we try to make sure we give them, how do you cook? How do you clean? Why do you do it? Self-worth. Why is it important to know a resume? Even if you don't make one, what is important? What's the purpose of it? Application, filling out, but more so inside stuff. How to deal with conflict, using the right words. Everybody's texting, nobody's talking. So when they come here, they have to have conversation with each other. We're just trying to be that extra auntie and uncle that they don't have at home.
Nice.
There's so much more, but that's it. I make these cards by hand. They're all individually made. I wrote 4 books. My 5th one is coming, all inspirational. And the goal is to make sure, again, that we bring something different to everybody. Every card is between $2 and $4. They are not expensive. All the books are $10. And it's just a way for us to give something to people who may not have it.
Nice.
And you got it nice and comfy with the couch here, so
You gotta come.
people can sit down and read and, you know, chill, have some tea.
I have one lady, she called to see if I'm here because she just wants to bring her book and sit on the couch.
Oh, wow.
And that's because her home is chaotic. So this is a piece where she sits there, I'm in my office, about an hour and a half she's gone, everything's fine.
Nice.
We just try to be different.
Nice.
People need that.
It is.
Can
And it's
you take
very,
my picture real quick?
very relaxing too.
We try it, right?
And then me and her born on the same day.
Okay.
Yeah, February 22nd.
All right.
All twos.
I got too many glasses.
Wow. Yeah. Nice.
Beautiful.
February 22nd,
that's the day.
2222, huh?
All twos. Get her card. We in the year to 2 too.
Yeah.
I retired from the city on 2/2/22.
Ooh.
So I was like, okay, so
Wow.
if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it on that day, right? I can't
Right.
wait till the 22nd. But the 2s are important to me. That number is everything for me. But it's
Right.
refreshing. It's the inspirational number. Everything happens in 2s. How do you think they are in the art? Everything's by 2s, right?
Right.
So for me, 2 is important. So we try to do that. Now, our services are normally individual because everybody don't do groups. If you have a problem reading, you don't want to come here and learn to read with other people. No,
That's a ghost.
the door open. So we try to cater to individuals. We have some families that come together, but if you have a deficiency, you don't want everybody to know. That's why the curtains are always black. I never open the curtains, not because I'm scared, but because I want it to be a private environment for you.
For you,
If we
yeah.
do have an event or something, they could come and feel secure.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere.
Coming to a new universe.
Yeah, we try it,
Nice.
right?
I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then we have this shelf here is all free information. So people who are dealing with grief, gender identity, dealing with lost ones, addiction and recovery. I also teach this recovery class. So I'm trying to just be in spaces that they need people to be. We have women empowerment conferences. We have all kind of stuff.
Wow.
Just in the end, it's a small little thing and nobody's like, it's not a big deal. I don't need a big audience. I'm cool with the 2s and fews because those are the ones that really make the
Twos and
difference.
fews.
2s
Right.
and fews. I mean, of course, now I want to
Yeah.
get paid sometime and have a big audience, but since I'm not Mary J. Blige, small is good.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, yeah. Also,
Which
too,
one? Where's your book at?
Those books there, that second row.
Okay, you
is
created these.
Jazz Norman Inspiration. It's a nice looking book too.
So that one is about, it's some lessons from teachers at my
Jazz
church, me and my church.
Inspiration. The N is for Norman.
Inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration.
Everything's JN, so
J-N.
everything. That's my thing. And then that book is for kids. Parents don't teach your kids how to pray, so we give that book to help them kind of give them a kickstart. If you
Nice.
swing that thing around the other way,
That's so beautiful.
thank you. The yellow one we did during COVID to help the teens get themselves back together. There's a lot of teens who couldn't figure out a lot of stuff during this. So it's a little bit of a journey.
Yellow is a healing color too.
Exactly.
They
What
like
you
the
know what
sun.
you're doing.
Well,
Yeah.
Pisces,
Wow,
we born on the same day, so yeah.
And that's my first book. It's topical. So if you're having a bad day, you just look up something and you read a little inspiration and a little motivation and a prayer, and you're done.
Nice. I wanna-
Again, nothing over the top. Not trying to ask people to do too much, but the small stuff really could just kickstart somebody's, situation.
Yeah, with your statement about everything happens in twos. Dr. J played in a basketball movie in the '70s called The Fist That Saved Pittsburgh. It was about an all Pisces basketball team. So when he was on a date, he went to a basketball court and he shot a hoop and he said everything happens in twos. And guess what? Guess when Dr. J is born?
February.
February what?
Don't say it's 22nd.
Yes.
There it is again. I'm telling you.
So-
I'm telling you.
So before we go, because we got more stops to make, tell us how many businesses are here.
In this one building,
Yeah, this one
3.
building.
So it's my notary, it's the nonprofit, and it's my creative designs. So in here, there's 3.
So there's 3 black businesses in one location.
But if you find another spot, I'm going there too. I just can't find one that's affordable. But I like to link them together because you may come for a notary, but you may find something different while you're here. So wherever I go, they're all going to be together, but I just need to be in a different area. So I'm going to try. I want to do Sunnydale. I want to do Patrol. I want to do every little.
Yeah.
I don't want to say underserved population because that's what the new thing. But every place that we would be, I would.
So this right here, Clarence. We still got to come and see you. We still got to come and see you.
Hey, how you doing, G?
All right. So this is a guy that owns all that property over there.
Okay.
He's from the legacy of black property owners.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing? Good. How are you?
He's busy now, but I'm glad we saw him though.
Have a good one, G.
Yeah, so as I said before, so Calvin Jones of Providence, he passed, but the former preacher of Providence, he designed that. And then we just ran across another black property owner. So there's a whole area and legacy of black property owners. SBHC owns property. There's another man named Blanding that owns property, that owns the whole block down there. Clarence owns a portion of the block. Oh yeah. So, when it comes to corridors and corridor planning, as you can see, you got Jackie Norman's foundation, which does counseling work, and you can kind of see how maybe her and Coach Leela that runs the dance, the dance center, they can kind of work together because they're probably dealing with a lot of the same population. So you can kind of see where we can have a corridor and where the businesses can kind of correlate. And then right by the dance center is a hair space. And people who go to hair spaces have youth. It all correlates. So this is just a wonderful gym just to have here. This is a black business. It's owned by a black woman. And LaWanda. Right? So it's a great health facility. She puts you on a weight loss plan, which I mean, she actually diagnoses your body chemistry and what goes right with you. She's in stellar shape herself, right? And so this is very much needed for the community that we live in, where we have all of these issues with health. Yeah. And so she educates her clients, puts them on a plan that's applicable to them.
Right.
So that's U3 Fit. Another
U3 Fit. Oh yeah, that's dope. I gotta get in there.
I gotta wrap up in about 20 minutes or so.
It ain't nothing but a red light. A light don't need to tell me when to go all the time. Make sure you know cars coming. Yeah. As long as the light in my head is going, I'm good. Yeah. So,
Legendary store, baby. Liquors.
Over there. So it's awesome space. This right here is U3 Fit. I'm not even sure, but TBC Printing. It's a printing shop. It used to be the weight room. He kind of designed it into a small little museum. And right across from the upper house, you got U3 Fit. And I would say these businesses kind of correlate too. Right? You know, he does a lot of stuff around sports. And he also has, like a weight room design. And really, he could be doing all the printing for the businesses on the corridor. So, this right here, this is owned by this property. It's owned by another black man. This property right here. the dance song. I don't know what this is going to be, but this is supposed to be another black business. Right here. And
Is this still Black Men United, or this is something else?
something else.
Oh, they changed it. Okay.
It's like a tennis thing.
Expert tailors.
How far is Cafe Envy from here?
It's about 4 or 5 blocks. Why that was your next stop?
No.
Okay.
But Gigi's always telling me that folks come around 5 o'clock or so.
Yeah, they do.
Just kick it at Cafe Envy.
Yeah. So, highways. There's a lot of highways that have a lot of, car traffic, cars moving through, right? So the interesting thing with this highway is it puts the Opera House in a straight line with the Southeast Freeway.
Give me $100.
You got barber shop right here as well. Right? And then, been there for everyone.
Oh, the church.
Yeah, and then you got, that's when you go to this is the last one. You got, this is Radio Africa. Because of the pandemic, he's not open as much, but he wants to open it more, program it. We got the windows there for the site, right? And so you got this space, you got the cafe. This is right across from the Opera House, and so the Opera House can be like the anchor point or the anchor program for businesses, right? So if the Opera House has functions, the foot traffic, after the functions, people can come here.
Exactly.
Right?
Africa Kitchen, 4800 3rd Street.
That y'all see me said it still gotta be working.
That's right. And so he also wants to make this a commissary kitchen and a pop-up spot for other businesses to program and utilize. And he wants to do like events and everything. He did it in the past. So you kind of have that kind of space. He wants to do podcasts here too. And then as soon as we get to the end, we'll be done. Say!
Hey, what's up, bro? This the
trailblazer. And he does a lot for the community. Guess something happened. So, there's a lot of social ills, but then that's where we come in at to work with the brothers and work with the people that's out here. A lot of them look out for the community, right? But then for the other problems that really plague the community, it's really getting them on par to realize you have a black community to actually fight for it. This is the last spot. Oh, that's the owner right there. Neoma.
Oh,
Neho. This is the owner.
How you doing, family?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And
What's going on, man?
he's the owner
Yes,
of the
sir.
clothing store.
Yeah.
Tell him about your business.
Well, been black business here. Been here about 5 years now, going on 6, and just giving back to the community. And this used to be a five and dime store a long time ago, and now it's a clothing store. So anytime you want to come down and get fitted from head to toe, we got you.
I like that jacket too. We're gonna tap in and do a more deeper interview too. I'll be through. All right.
Hey, the way you take the pictures is like a model, man. It's like you know what you're doing when you take the pictures.
It's been a long week. That's all I'm saying. It's been a long week.
car traffic, but the businesses aren't open at the same time consistently to generate the foot traffic. So it just takes programming. A lot of people here don't realize you got 50 black businesses. They don't realize we can have a corridor. So it's like the messaging, you know, for the people, right? To let them know what we can have, right? Oh, yeah, another thing too. That's why they built the palm trees. There's been plans for this community for years. Palm trees came with the T train. That's the last one.
Hey, what's up, bro? What's up?
Pisces!
Savoir-faire everywhere.
So, right here, this is the barber shop.
What's up with y'all
How
players?
you doing, G?
What's up, black man?
Yup. How you doing, my G?
Hey, how you doing, player?
Good to see you, man. Good.
Oh, you doing a little video? Oh, do your number. You more than welcome.
So, as you can see, this is another hub for our community. You can see different aspects of community. And it's like this a lot here. Right? Right, so this is another hub, right? So with 9480, with Radio Africa, with this space, you have the materials to generate foot traffic, right? And so this sometimes right here is a pop-up, and there's a pop-up spot.
Okay.
And so when it's in sync together, then the foot traffic just kind of flows in the area, and you can kind of see it, right? So like if Radio Africa was open, I would be having this foot traffic. You got the Opera House doing what they do, and you can have like just you know, yeah, so and I would say this area is like the Oregon of 3rd Street for black people. Like this area right here. So and also in back of the Opera House is Joe Lee Community Center. This has a basketball court been there for years. This is like a good stopping point.
Okay. This is wonderful. And thank you so much for just walking me through and showing me and introducing me to a lot of the black businesses. It's so vibrant and we're really out here. I'm excited for the next one. Why don't I give you a call to come next week and we can schedule the next one?
Yeah. Take my picture real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. I still don't know how you look. I just tripped too. I mean, I got my shades on too. Let me see. Hold on. Cause you could walk up to me somewhere.
Right, and you be like, I don't know.
It's bunky.